Welcome, automation enthusiasts. Let's say that you are on an application and you're trying to find a store address. You click on Find a Store button. The app sends your request to Google Maps through the API and use Google Maps API to show you the store location. Here, you need to enter your address. Nice. Google Maps processes the request and send the result back to you. Okay, the app shows you the map and the store location. Your request has been fulfilled. All this is possible thanks to what we call API. An API stands for Application Programming Interface. An API is a helper that lets two applications talk to each other and share information. The API is like a messenger between the two. The app asks Google Maps API, where is the store? Then Google Maps API reply, here is the store. This connection enables the app to display the map without needing to have its own mapping expertise. It depends on Google Maps for that. At the end of this video, you will be able to easily create your own API with FastAPI. So let's get started. Step 1. In the terminal, install the following module using this command, okay? Pip install FastAPI Uvicorn, then pip install typing, then pip install Pydantic, then upgrade your version of pip. Okay? Install this module. I will explain in detail what they will be used for later in the video. Imagine that you are developing an online store application. On this application, you display a list of products such as phone, computer, or accessory. These products are stored in a database that holds all the necessary information, like the ID, their name, and the price. We will use a simulated database. It is nothing more than a simple list in Python, but it represents how a real database works. Let's create our fictitious database. First of all, we will create a new variable called database. Then, the database will contain a list of products. In Python, to create a list of data, you need to use a square bracket, okay? Now, inside our list, inside the database list will contain dictionary representing product, okay? So, inside, we will add some product, okay? Knowing that each product has a unique identifier ID, to make it easy to find, we will use a dictionary, okay? Let us add our product. We need an ID. Then, as a key, we need the name of the product. Then, as a key, we need the price. Perfect. Okay. The database list will contain dictionary representing products. So we will add 2 products. ID 2, product 2, then the price will be 10. Perfect. Here is the list of all our available products in our application. You can add more, but for us, we will just use 2 for now. When you run the command pip install FastAPI Uvicorn, okay, you install 2 tools to create and run API. Okay, the first tool is FastAPI. FastAPI is a Python library that allows you to create API quickly and easily. It helps you set up endpoint and handle HTTP requests. Example, get post. Then the second is Uvicorn. Uvicorn is a tool to run your FastAPI server, enabling other people or programs to use your API. Okay, now we need to import this module. Okay, type from FastAPI import FastAPI. Perfect. Now, what we need to do, we need to create an instance of our API. Okay, an instance can be compared to a copy or a version of a model, ready to function and respond to requests. Okay, for that, create a new variable called app, then equal to fast API. Okay, don't forget to put the two brackets. Okay, so here we are initializing the API and get it ready to receive and process requests, much like turning on our application ready for use. Okay. Creating your own API with FastAPI means building a system where you can define endpoints, URLs that perform action or return data when called. First, we need to create a function that will return a list of all the products in our database. Okay, so to create a function, use the keyword def, then give your function a name, for example, get product. Okay, then define what the function will do. Okay, our function will return the list of product inside our database. Okay, return database. Perfect. So when this function is called, it returns the list of products stored in the database. In other words, it retrieves the product information stored in the database and make it available to be displayed or used elsewhere. Okay. Next, you need to create a route that allows product to be retrieved when a request is sent to the URL. Route creation is done within the API. To do this, add a decorator above the function. Okay, so use the app dot get method. Then inside you will use slash, then add products. Okay, this is a decorator. Okay, the decorator tells the API that a specific function should be executed when someone sends a GET request. Okay, a request to retrieve information. It's like telling the API when someone wants to retrieve something, this function will handle it. Okay, so slash product is simply the URL or the path for your API route. It is the address used to access the product in your API. Okay, perfect. We are going to run our code, but before running our code, before the decorator here, make sure to add the add symbol. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the add symbol is used for decorator in Python, which is like label for function that tell them to do something special. Okay, so now you can see the difference in the color. Okay, now we are going to execute our code. To execute the code, run the Uvicorn server. Open the terminal, click on the terminal icon here. Then type the following command, Uvicorn, then the name of your Python file, okay, then colon, the app, and reload. So I repeat, to execute your code, you need to type Uvicorn, Then create your own API with the actual name of your Python file without the .py extension. Okay, then add column, then app, which represent the instance of your FastAPI application, then reload. Okay, so let me copy this. In the terminal, we are going to paste here, then press enter. Perfect. Wait for the application to start. Notice that HTTP, okay, is the protocol used for web communication. Then 127.0.0.1 is your local machine IP address, also called localhost. It means that the application is running on your computer and is not yet accessible from other devices. Then H000 is the port number where your application is listening for requests. Okay, nice. Then we have the confirmation application startup is complete. Perfect. What you need to do here is to copy your localhost address, copy. Then we are going to paste it here, then press enter. Perfect. When accessing your localhost, you will see this error because no specific route is defined for the root URL. Okay, so to view the list of products, you must include the /product as defined here. Okay, this is our database, and inside our database we have a list of products. So if you want to see the list of product here, we must add the /product. Okay, so here type /product, then press enter. Perfect. You can check pressing print. Okay, so this will allow you see all the products available in your database. Okay, nice. FastAPI automatically generate interactive documentation for your API. Okay, so to see the documentation, what you need to do, you can also remove /product, then replace by /docs, then press enter. Perfect. This documentation allows you to test your API without using external tools like Postman or cURL. Okay, so when you type your localhost with /docs, it will generate a documentation. Okay, so if we click here, perfect. You will see here we have the get method. Okay, so it's the same thing. For example, we can execute also the code using the FastAPI documentation directly. Okay, now to locate or get the product root in the documentation, click on try it out. Okay, then click on execute. You do not need to provide any parameter. Click on execute. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, then you can see here the list of the product available in your database. Okay, so this is our product. We can test it like that. So by clicking on execute, we can see the static code 200, which indicate that the request was successful and the API returned the request information. Okay, so this is the response body with our product. Okay, this is the response body with the product inside our database. Okay, so to get the list of product, I repeat, okay, to see or to view the list of product, you can use the root by typing slash product, okay, like this. Then check pressing print. You can see the list of products available in your database, or you can remove slash product and replace by slash docs. Then press enter. Perfect. Now, to get the list of products inside your database, click on try it out. Okay. Then here, click on execute. You will see the same product available here. Okay. We have allowed our API to provide access to full list of products. In our case, we only have 2. But what if there are 100 products? How can we retrieve a specific product? Stay tuned for the next step. Get a product by ID. The principle is to search for a product in the database using an ID, okay? And if it does not exist, the server returns an error, HTTP 404 error, okay? To retrieve a specific product, we need to create a new function, okay? Type the keyword def, then give the name of your function, get product, okay, without s, then add in bracket product ID. It's like a new variable that we are creating, okay? Then this variable will be of type in, okay? Okay. Now, here we need to look through the database and check if the product exists, okay? So type, here is our database. Type for product in database, okay? So for each product, this is the first product, this is the second one, okay? So for each product in the database, okay, if the product that we can identify by the ID, okay, okay, if the product match the product ID, okay, this product ID, okay, if the product in the database match the product ID, okay, then return product, okay, return that product, okay. Now we need to add HTTP exception, okay. HTTP exception must be imported with FastAPI to handle and raise HTTP error in our API response, okay. For that, type here from FastAPI, okay, import HTTP exception. Perfect. Let us continue. So here, for each product in the database, if the product that we can identify by the key, which represent the ID, okay, if this product match the product ID that we are going to pass, okay, then return the product, okay. Else, raise, okay, raise HTTP exception, okay. So in bracket, we can specify the status code, for 0400, then we can decide to provide a detail, okay. Product not found, okay. product not found. Perfect. Okay. If a match is found, it returns the product detail. If no match is found, erase an HTTP exception, returning a 404 status code with the message product not found. Okay. Then we need to create a route to allow access to this functionality. Okay. To do this, make sure to add our decorator. We copy this, copy, then here we will paste here. Perfect. Now, since we are looking for a product ID, we need to add slash, okay, then precise the product ID, okay. So here we type product ID, okay. Notice that product ID here, okay, in the URL indicate that product ID is a dynamic parameter. Notice that product ID here, okay, in the URL indicate that product ID is a dynamic parameter. The value in the URL will be passed to the get product function as the product ID, okay? So the root product slash product ID for a single product ID, okay, or for a single product, we allow user to query a specific product by ID, okay? So here we have a list of all the products, but here we specify the uniqueness. We specify a single product, okay? Perfect. Let us run our program and see how it works, okay? So to run, make sure to use this command, okay? Save all, then press enter. The same thing, we should wait until the application is ready. Perfect. Application setup complete, okay? The same thing, we need to copy the localhost address, okay? Then here we are going to paste it like that, then press enter. Perfect. So to get the list of all the products, okay, we should add slash product, okay? So let me come here. If I add slash product, I will get the list of all the products available in my database. Now, to get a single product by ID, okay, since inside the database we have product ID 1, product ID 2. So to get a single product, okay, we need to add the product ID. So here we need to add slash and precise the product ID, okay? So here, product slash ID 2, okay? Because we have a product ID 2 that exists in our database. Then if I press enter, perfect, okay? If I want to get a single product, the product with the first ID, I just add 1. Perfect, okay? If I want to test through the documentation, I just need to add slash docs, then press enter. Okay, now we have a get method that will retrieve a single product ID. Okay, so the API will search for a product with the matching product ID. If found, it returns the product detail. Okay, so if I click here, for example, then I need to specify the product ID. Okay, so click on trying it out, then the product ID. Inside our database, we have ID1, ID2. So perfect. Here I will add ID1. Then click on execute. Perfect. Perfect. Here we have the status code 200. Okay, this is our first product that match the product in our database. Okay, ID1, name product 1, price, and the price. Okay, 12. Okay, the same thing if I want to specify the product 2, then I click on execute. Perfect. So it will return the product detail. Okay, product 2, okay, with the name product 2, okay, and the price 10. Okay, perfect. If I click on try it out, I search for the product ID 1. Perfect. Okay, it will return the product detail. If I search for the product ID 2, then I click on execute. Perfect. It will return also the product ID 2. But if I search for a product ID that does not exist, for example, if I type 3, what will happen? Okay, I will have this message. Okay, status code 404 with the detail product not found. Okay, because the product ID 3 does not exist in our database. Okay, so here if I click on execute, perfect, product not found. Okay, by passing the ID of a product that exists in our database, we are able to retrieve this product with product detail. Okay, currently we only have 2 products in our database. So far we have displayed the list of the product and retrieved a specific product using the get method. This time we will use a new method post to add a product in our database. Let us continue. Okay, I will repeat the last time. Okay, if you want to view or cancel the detail of an existing product or an available resource, the get method should be used. Okay, so first of all, we create a function called get product. Okay, that function returns all the product in the database. The function returns the list of all the products in the database. Okay, so this is our database, and inside our database we have the first product having its own ID, ID1, the name, product 1, and the price. And we have the second product with the ID2, the name, and the price. Perfect. So if you want to see the list of all the products, okay, we need to use the get method. Okay, so every time this function is called, okay, every time we will make a request with the get, this function will be called. Okay, so here, for example, if I want to see the list of all my products, I click here, then no need to pass parameter. Okay, you just click on try it out, then execute. Perfect. And then we will have inside the response body the product available inside our database. Okay, ID1, product 1, and the price for the first product, then ID2, the name and the price for the second product. Okay, so here the get method slash product, okay, which represent this root, okay, we return the list of all the products available in our database. Perfect. Now, we also create a method called getProduct with the root that specify the ID, okay? The ID of the product to be viewed, okay? So here, we define a function, okay, that take a parameter called product ID, okay. Each time we want to view a single product, we must pass the ID of that product, okay. So our function take a parameter, okay, and the variable we are going to pass should be of type integer, okay. So here, for example, if I want to see a single product, here we have the list of product, okay, then here we have a single product. So if I want to see a single product, I come here inside the documentation and I click here, then I need to pass an ID, okay. Click on try it out, then you need to pass an ID, okay, and this value must be of type integer. We cannot enter a type string, okay, otherwise it will trigger an error, okay. So we must have an integer, we must pass as a parameter an integer. So knowing that our database have ID1, ID2, here we will pass an ID that match, for example, the ID of a product inside our database. So here we have the list of product. Now, if I want to see, for example, if I want to see the product with ID 2, I will pass that ID. So here, click on try it out, then add 2, then click on execute. Perfect. So it will return the detail of that product, okay. So ID 2, the name product 2, price 10, the same thing here, okay, and you have the status code 200, okay. So every time you want to see a single product, you need to pass a parameter, and this parameter as defined here should be of type integer, okay. So when viewing the detail of a product, if the ID pass as a parameter match a product ID in the database, it will return the detail of that product. But if the ID does not match any product in the database or does not exist, it will return this error message, page not found. For example, here we have ID1, ID2. If I try to get, for example, the product ID 3 that does not exist in our database, okay, if I click on execute, I will have product not found, okay. So we use the get method to retrieve the detail of a product or to view the list of a product, okay. So if you want to consult or view the detail of an existing product or an available resource, you must use the get method, okay. Perfect. Let us continue. Now, I will show you how to add a new product in the database directly with FastAPI using the post method. The post method is used to create new resource, and you must include a JSON body, which is simply a structured data format containing the detail of the resource to be created. Okay. Earlier, we said to install Pydantic library, okay, which make it easy to manage data validation and analysis, okay. Now, what you need to do, you must type from Pydantic import base model, okay. You must import base model from Pydantic, okay. So, what does base model? Base model is used to define the data structure, okay. Base model allow you to define a model that describes the structure of your data, such as the field and the type. For example, let us create a class called product, okay. Simply use the keyword class, then add a name to your class. Our class will be named product. And inside our class, we will pass as a parameter the base model, okay. Now, this class will have the name as attribute, and the name will be of type string. Then we'll create a new attribute called, for example, the price, and the price will be of the type float. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are using the base model from Pydantic to define a data structure with clear roles. Example, we create a class called product with field like the name and the price, and we specify the type. Okay, for example, string for the name, then float for the price. Okay, so it check if the data you provide will match the expected type. For example, if you provide a field as a float but pass a string, Pydantic will throw an error to tell you that the data is invalid. Later, I will show you its usefulness by testing our API. Okay, perfect. Now, we are going to create a new function called add product, okay, which will allow us to add a new product in our database, okay. Okay, we are going to copy this. One second, copy this. Perfect. So, type the keyword dev, then provide the name of your function, add product, okay. In bracket, we will create a new variable called product, okay, and we simply need to add the colon, which means that the product variable must be an instance of the product class, okay. So product, okay, and the expected type of this variable product should be product, which refer to our class. Okay, so an instance of a class is an object of a class. When a class is instantiated, it creates an object. Okay, perfect. When FastAPI see this, okay, it knows that the data sent to this function must follow the structure defined by the product class. For example, the name that should be of type string, then the price that should be of type float. Okay, perfect. Now we must create a new product, okay, which is a dictionary which represents the new product that you want to add in the database. For that, type the new variable called new product equal to, okay, since our database, if you come back here, since our database is a list of a dictionary, each product must have the same key, like the ID, the name, then the price, to keep everything consistent. Okay, perfect. So here, inside the product dictionary, we will add, first of all, the key called name. We will add the ID at the end, okay? So, since the product is an instance of the product class, okay, to have the name of the product, we must use product dot name. Okay, so using product dot name, you access the name attribute defined in the product class. Same thing for the price. We will add a new keyword called price. Then we use product dot price. Perfect. So using product dot price, you access the price attribute defined in the product class. Okay, perfect. We said that the product that we are going to add must have the same structure as those that exist in the database. In the database, we have the key ID, the key name, then the key price. Here, we add the key name, the key price. Now it remains the key ID. Okay, perfect. Now, ID is a unique identifier for a product. Okay, so the number of product already exists. Okay, and we add one to obtain a new unique ID for the product. For that, just type len, okay, len, the database, len, the database, plus 1. Okay, so the product class inherit from the base model. Ensure that the data provided respect the rule defined, such as the name of the type string, then the price of the type float. Okay, and we add an ID, we add the name, and we add the price. Okay, so the ID is a unique identifier for the product. Okay, we want to take the size of the database. That's why we are using len database, then add +1 to obtain a new unique ID for the product. Okay, perfect. Then here we need to add at the end of this lead a new product. Okay, now we need to add the append method in Python. Okay, the append method in Python is used to add an element at the end of the list. Okay, so type database, okay, dot append what new product. Okay, so this new product will be added in our database. Okay, so I repeat, the append method, okay, in Python is used to add an element at the end of the list. Okay, perfect. Then our function we do what? Our function will return, okay, the new product. The add product function ensure that the new product has exactly the same key, like the ID, the name, and the price, before adding it in the database. Okay, then don't forget to add the decorator. Here we're going to copy this. To create a new product, we must add the post method. So type add dot post. Perfect. Okay, so this function will be called when a post request is sent to the URL. Okay, now let us run our code and see how it works. Now I will show you how to add a new product in the database using the post method. Okay, so just copy this, paste, then press enter. Make sure to copy your localhost address. Okay, perfect. Now here we are going to paste. Perfect. Then we are going to navigate to the /docs. Perfect. You will see the pause method. Okay. Actually, we only have 2 products in our database. Okay. We can confirm it by sending a GET request. So if we come here, we click on try it out, then we click on execute. Perfect. You will see that we have only 2 products. Okay. ID1 and ID2. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to add a new product in our database, okay, using the post method, okay. So click on the post method, then click on try it out. Perfect. Here, you need to provide what we call a request payload or the body, okay. If we come back to our code, we can see that for the post method, we need to provide the name and the price. And the name should be of type string. Then the price should be of type float. Okay. So when you send the detail of a product to be created, it will be the request payload. Okay. So don't forget that this is where the validation comes in. The name should be of type string. Then the price should be of type float. Okay, perfect. Now we are going to add, for example, product 3. Then the price will be, for example, 41.23. Perfect. Okay. So here we provide the request payload. Okay. Now, if we click on execute, you will see that it will create a new product with a new ID. Okay. So click on execute. Perfect. You can see that we have a new product. Okay. Then the ID is 3. The name is product 3. Then the price. Once you execute, the status code 200 indicate that the request is complete successfully. Okay. You will therefore see a new product created. Okay. Here is the detail of the new product. That is why we call the response body. Further, if we go to redo the get method, you will see that the new product has just been added to your database. Okay. So if we come here, then click on try it out, then we do the get method again. Perfect. You will see that product ID 3 will be available in our database. Okay, perfect. We can add one more product, for example, product 4. Then the price will be 12.52. If we click on execute, perfect, you will see a new ID, ID4, the name product 4, and the price. If we come back and we do the get method, click on execute. Perfect. You will see the new product that we have just created right now available in our database. Okay, perfect. Let's suppose that we want to modify all the property of, for example, the product ID 4. We will use another method, which is the put method. Okay, let us continue. The put method. The put method is commonly referred to as an update method. Okay, put replaces the entire resource with the updated data. In this case, put method will be used to update the information of a specific product. Okay, so what we need to do, we are going to copy this line. Perfect, and we are going to modify it. Okay, now we need to work with the put method. Update existing data. Perfect. So here we need to replace the get by the put method. Okay. Then we need to create a new function called update product. Perfect. And that function will take two parameters. Okay. A product ID. Okay. A product ID is a unique identifier that allows to locate the product in the database. And this product ID should be of type integer. Okay. Then we must add a new variable called update product. Okay. And this new variable should be of type product, referring to our class product. And inside the class product, the name should be of type string, then the price should be of type float. Just remember, okay? Perfect. Then we need to iterate through each item or each product in the database. This is our database. Okay? We need to iterate through each item in the database to find the one with the matching ID. Okay? For each product in the database, if the product in the database having the key ID match the product ID, okay, which is the ID passed as a parameter, okay. Now, what we need to do, we need to update that product, okay. Type product, okay, having the key name, okay. So, if the product ID, okay, if the product ID, so the product ID in our database match the product ID, okay, the ID we are going to pass as a parameter, then product in the database with the key name, replace this product with the new value of the updated product. Then accessing the variable using the update product.name. Updated product is the new product value sent in the request. And we say that the updated product should be of type product, which means that it should have the name and the price. Okay, so if the product ID match the product you are going to pass as a parameter, then find the product in the database having the key name, then accessing the variable of the class and replace with the new value. Okay, same thing here. Copy. Product having the key price should be updated with the new value. Okay, so if the product with the provide ID is found, its information will be updated with the receive data. Okay, once the update is done, return the product. Okay, if no product matching the ID, okay, if no product matching the ID is found in the database, an HTTP exception is thrown with the code 404, product not found, okay, and a descriptive message. Okay, so notice here that the put method is used to update an existing resource. Okay, the put method is used to update an existing resource. Now, to test the put method, we will create a new product and change its property. Let us run our code. Okay, perfect. Application startup complete. Okay, so we just need to reload the page. Perfect. Now let me maximize the window. Okay, now we have the put method. Okay, we have the put method. So remember, in our database, we just have two products. Okay, we are going to create a new product, then we are going to update value of this new product. Okay, so if I come here and click on the get method, okay, if I click on try it out, then I click on execute, we just have two products in our database. Perfect. Now we are going to go in the post method, we are going to create a new product. Okay, click on try it out, change the name of the product, product 3, then the price of, add a new price, 41.23. Perfect. Then click on execute. Perfect. We have a new product. Okay, the ID is 3, then we have the name product 3, then the price. Okay, perfect. Now if we go back and do the get method, let me refresh. If I click on try it out, then I click on execute, I will see the new product add in my database. Perfect. Now we are going to use the put method to update, for example, the product ID 3. Okay, we are going to change the product name, then the product price. Okay, perfect. Come here and click on the put method. Perfect. Now you can see that the product ID is required. Notice that in our function, the method update product take the product ID, then the update product. This function take two parameters. Okay, so if we come here, we need to update the product ID 3. Click on try it out, then we will add 3. 3 is because the product ID 3 exists in our database. We are going to update that product. So if I come here again, you can see that we have the product ID 3, the name product 3, then the price. Okay, perfect. Then when you go inside the put method, just add the product ID that you want to update. Then the name you can change to, for example, product 4, for example, or product ABC. Okay, then the price we can update with okay, perfect. Now you need that the request body is required. Every time we are going to use the put method, okay, or the post method, the request body must be provided. Okay, so let me click on execute to see if the product ID 3 will be updated with the new value. Okay, so click on execute. Perfect. You can see that we have the product ID 3, the name product ABC, then the price. If we go back to the get method, then we click on execute again, we see that the product ID 3 is updated. Okay, perfect. Automation enthusiasts, we arrive at the end of this video, but we are going to see the last method, okay, which is the delete method. Okay, so just need to copy this part of code. We're going to copy this, copy, then come here at the end, paste. We are going to talk about the delete method. Okay, let me add in the comment, delete a product. Okay, so here replace app.get by app.delete. Okay, so we need to create a new function, okay, called delete product. Replace the get by delete. This function will allow you to delete a product from the database using a product identifier. Okay, so we need to create a new function called delete product that take as an argument the product ID. That should be of type integer. Okay, this is a function that will be executed when the delete request is made. Okay, it take a product ID as an argument, which is the ID of the product to be removed. Okay, so here we are going to look through the database. This is our database. For each product found in the database, if the product that we can identify by the key ID match the product ID, okay, so the product ID given in the request, then what we need to do, if a match is found, we will tell the program to remove it from the database. Database dot remove the product. So we are going to remove that product from the database. Okay, so the remove method is used to delete a specific item in the list or to delete a specific product. Okay, then we are going to return a message. Okay, we are going to return this message. The message will be, for example, product deleted. Perfect. Then, if no product with the given ID is found, an HTTP exception error is raised. Okay, perfect. Let us run our code and see how it works. Okay, the same thing, we need to copy this comment in the terminal, then press enter. Always copy your localhost address, then paste it here. Application startup complete. Perfect. Now we can reload the page. Perfect. Then we can maximize the window. Navigate to the dot. Perfect. Now you will have the delete method. Okay, so notice that we want to delete a product in the database. Actually, we have two products in our database. We are going to create a new product, then we are going to delete that product. Okay, so if we come here, for example, for the get method, perfect. So if we come here, we need to see the list of all the products available in the database. Click on try it out, then click on execute. we can see that we have only 2 products. Okay, so let us go back, then create a new product using the pause method. Come here, then click on try it out, then add a new product. Here we are going to add product 3 as a name, then the price will be 11.33. Perfect. Click on execute. Perfect. So this is the new product created. Okay, so this is our new product. Okay, then if we come back here in the get method, then we click on execute, you can see that now we have 3 products. Now we are going to delete that product. Okay, we're going to delete the product having the ID 3. Okay, so now we need to delete that product that we have just created. Okay, so click on the delete, then we need to pass the product ID. Okay, remember in the get method we have 3 products. Now we are going to delete the product having ID 3. Okay, so if we come back here for the delete method, then we click on try it out, then we are going to delete product ID 3. Okay, just add the product ID 3, then click on execute. Perfect. Now you have the status code 200, then the response body, we have our message product deleted. Perfect. Now if we come back here, then we redo the get method again, we will see that the product ID 3 has been deleted. So click on execute again. Perfect. Now you can see that the product ID 3 has been deleted. Perfect. We can also delete product ID 2. Okay, so just come here, then replace 3 by 2, then click on execute. Perfect. Product deleted. If we come back here, then we redo the get method. Now we only have 1 product in our database. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you find it helpful. Thank you.